To all the Latinos who voted for Trump, I hope you are happy.
I am.
I genuinely hope you are okay with seeing families being torn apart.
I was gonna wait until the end of the video to comment on this, but this argument doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's you're trying to pull at my heartstrings, but it doesn't work. You know why it doesn't work? Because what happens when somebody breaks the law in the United States? Or in any other country for that matter? Or any, country that has laws and regulations that they follow. People get separated from their families. So, am I okay generally separating people from their families for no reason? No. But there is a reason behind this. If I commit a crime and I had a wife and kids, I'd be getting separated from my family. What makes an illegal immigrant so special that we must not separate them from their families after being caught for illegally crossing the border to the United States? Or legally coming in and overstaying their visa? What should be done? How do we, as a society, punish that behavior? Or do we just give the behavior, reward the behavior by letting them stay in the country or giving them a path to citizenship or what? Because surely that will not incentivize more people doing the same, right? More people trying to get to the U.S. and crossing the border illegally or coming in legally and overstaying, right? It's like these people don't even know how incentive structures work. When you incentivize or when you reward bad behavior, you incentivize the behavior from either the same person or others. So no, I generally don't feel bad when illegal immigrants get separated from their families. They got caught. They knew what the risks were crossing the border. Americans get separated from their families all the time. But somehow when it comes to illegal immigrants, we got to have compassion. It's got to be different. For them, we got to treat them differently because of their immigration status.
Parents separated from their children. People taken from their homes without any warning. It's honestly so heartbreaking and unfair. These are hardworking individuals who came here to build a better life.
Right, but we can't just let anyone and everyone who wants to come here and build a better life in. There are millions of people who would love to get into the United States and live there and build a better life. We can't just let them in. And just because you got to cross the border without being caught doesn't mean we just let you have at it. It doesn't work that way. And these people are so hardworking. Why can't they be hardworking in their countries? Why can't they work hard in their countries and make their countries better? Why do they have to come to the U.S. to work hard here instead of working hard in their country? It's not unfair. That is the law. Everybody wants a better life. That doesn't mean that we just say, screw it and open up the borders and just let anybody and everybody in. Because what happens if we let all these people in, everyone that wants to come into the United States in and just stay, immigrate and start working, doing whatever, then everyone else's quality of life, everyone else that's already here, their quality of life will be lowered. You have a lot of things that you wouldn't see in the United States that now you are seeing. Let me give you an example. I've been to Mexico, I've been to Colombia, and now I'm in Panama. I don't see here much in Panama, but I saw it a lot in Mexico and I saw it a lot in Colombia. But you get a lot of street vendors, like side vendors or people that get in between traffic. And, they sell you products like food or whatever the case may be. But you didn't really see that in the States like that. And I come from New York. I saw it sometimes when you see the little food truck of somebody, a Mexican selling fruits or whatever. But it became rampant where people were going inside of the train station selling fruit, mind you, with no permit, with no permission. And so this is what I'm talking about. When you have these people that come from other countries, they start turning the country, the United States, the country that they fled to for a better life, they start turning it into the country they ran away from. So everybody's quality of life degrades. You know what was not a thing in New York City? I don't know if it's still going on. Mopeds. Nobody really rode around in mopeds. When they started letting in all the Venezuelans, especially the Venezuelan gangs that were going around New York, guess what you started seeing? A lot of mopeds. What you see in the third world. Now, I'm not saying mopeds don't exist in the United States, but you didn't see it. You didn't see it, especially not in a city like New York. And so now you have all these people in mopeds. I don't know if it's still, going around, swerving in between traffic and causing chaos. Again, making everyone else's life worse.
They are not criminals. I say this with so much empathy because my dad was an immigrant too. Unfortunately, he passed away 4 years ago. But he came to this country wanting a better life. He didn't have a criminal record, and he had a strong work ethic. Although he came from nothing, he gave us everything. Because of him, we always had food on the table and a roof over our heads.
Okay, again, your father may not have been a criminal in the sense that he committed, really terrible crimes like, unaliving somebody or essaying a person or any other kind of crime that would, get you sent to jail. But your dad did commit the crime of illegally crossing the border. If that's what she's insinuating, because she called him an immigrant. But, for the left, it's always so funny because they always seem to leave out the most important word in this entire equation, which is illegal. They always just call them immigrants. Oh, they're just immigrants and they're just here looking for a better life and they're trying to better themselves and blah, blah, blah. They never tell you what they actually are, which is illegal immigrants. They illegally entered the country. I'm an immigrant too. I don't have that same status. I'm not an illegal immigrant, nor was I ever an illegal immigrant. But they always forget the most important word in this equation, which is the illegal part of the entire thing. Look, again, I'm all for immigration. I'd be a hypocrite if I wasn't. But we got to do it the right way. Just because you were able to make it across the border, or because your border, your country's border is connected to the country where you're trying to immigrate to, and you just so happen to make it across undetected, doesn't mean you have the right to be there. And it's just a slap in the face of people who are working hard to do everything the right way. And again, she calls them hard workers. If they're so hard worker, why didn't they work hard from their countries to immigrate legally? That doesn't seem to me like the ethic of a hard worker to go ahead and skip the line or cut corners to immigrate to another country. And you're just cheating everybody else in the process. That's what's going on. But those are just my thoughts. I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that illegal immigrants should be given a path to citizenship, or should we just reward the behavior to incentivize it, or not? Just let me know whatever you think in the comments. And if you liked the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this video with your friends. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.